puzzle that kind of slipped in there was that the Europeans actually took the Kyoto Protocol seriously. And Europe is the one area that actually reduced energy use of their building sector. The United States, we like to say, well, we reduced the energy, greenhouse effect, blah, blah, blah. That's not true. We switched from coal to natural gas. If you don't account for the methane loss of the natural gas went during the drilling process and the leakage through the distribution process, then natural gas looks like a pretty good alternative to coal. But when you factor in methane's effect on global warming, natural gas is not such a green material. It's not so good for the grid. It's not so good for the climate. So we can cook our books, we can say whatever statistics we want, but the reality is that, we really haven't done what they say and spin that we're doing. So all these things kind of came together in Europe. These two guys, Wolfgang Feix and Bo Adamson, says, these North Americans try this super insulation and they fail so miserably because they're cowboys. They don't sink. They must sink. And we physicists like to sink. And they spent 5 years saying there is a way to do this right. And they created a systematic way of looking at buildings that allowed them to create super insulated buildings that were reliably being able to be predicted their performance and were not having building physics failures. In 1990, they built this, the first optimized passive house. There are over 40,000 projects now built. This is not some fringe technology. We're seeing 60 to 70% reduction in energy consumption, 90% reduction in heating, and 65% in cooling. In fact, the EU, when it was looking at dealing with climate change, in 2009 said we need to hit passive house levels of performance to be able to do this. And we want every country in the EU to hit that level by 2018. And we picked that because it was verifiable, it was repeatable, and it was affordable. Pretty good. So, we start understanding the basic physics. I didn't understand the basic physics in the early 80s when I built mushroom farms. I understand it a lot better now. I don't claim to be an expert, but I do know enough to try to avoid bad problems.